sometimes people have some feelings about the word oppressed in Theater of the Oppressed. So I'm just going to invite everyone to just show me with your body silently what you think of when you think of the word oppressed. Ready? 3, 2, 1, freeze. And just take a peek around. I see a lot of heads down, arms up, arms close to the body, people turning away. So in the context of the United States, often oppressed does mean things like this. But Theater of the Oppressed was created in Brazil and in a different context, and it is an international movement since the 1970s. And in that context, oppressed actually means, Charlie, you want to help me out with this? More like this, right? So that means something a little different. Even though it's the same word, we have a different image, a different idea of, oh, there's some things that are happening in our world that aren't the way we want them to be, but we get to work together as a community to identify those things and imagine recreating the world the way we'd like it to be. So I hope that today you'll take a window of time for yourself to practice respecting your feelings, your needs, your thoughts, your ideas, in imagining what the world could be like and what you could be like. And know that there's no right or wrong way to do anything in Theater of the Oppressed. There's no right or wrong way to participate. You get to participate by jumping into the center if you want, by doing something with your body, by sitting back and breathing with a hand over your heart, by taking a walk outside because you need some fresh air. However you choose to participate today is just fine. We're going to start with an opportunity to get connected with each other and kind of offer each other some gifts, because all of you are a gift here in this space, and we get to celebrate that. So to start out, I'm going to demonstrate it with Christy, I think. So the way this game is going to work is everyone will be walking around the space, and if you feel like it, you will go up to someone and say, I got you this gift.
I love it, thank you. What is it?
And then you get to decide what it is. So I might say, it's a warm, fuzzy blanket, and Christy will repeat whatever it was that I said while acting out using that thing. So for example,
a warm, fuzzy blanket, thank you.
And then it's her choice if she wants to gift me something back, if she wants to re-gift what I just gave her, or if she just wants to move on to somebody else. So for example,
I got you a gift as well.
I love it. What is it?
It's a bouquet of roses that smells awesome and the flowers never die.
A bouquet of roses that smells awesome and the flowers never die. So everyone start by taking a walk in the space. And when you're ready, feel free to give someone a gift.
I got you a What is it? The unicycle that anyone can ride.
If you feel comfortable, I invite you to stand. What we'll do is anyone who wants to share one of the gifts that they got, they'll go in and share something. So you want to be our example person? That's great. So in a really loud voice, share what you got with the motion, and all of us are going to repeat it so that we can see what it would feel like to have that gift for ourselves. I got a puppy! Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3.
I got a puppy!
I got a broken Jack in Box.
I
got a broken Jack in the Box.
I got a snake.
I got a snake! Oftentimes in Theater of the Oppressed, we use our bodies to tell stories or to convey ideas that maybe we aren't using words. So we're gonna practice that together in this group right here, sort of like the difference between oppressed and oppressed, right? We're gonna create some statues. So we're gonna start with a demonstration from Trevi. Awesome. So you can make lots of different types of statues or images with your body. They can be really big and extreme, like a 10, or they could be really little, like a 1, right? So Trevi, make us about a 2 of surprise. So this is surprise. A level 2, right? So does anybody, Trevi has previously, and I'll check in to make sure you're still good with this, are you good with people touching you other than your black bar areas or the private areas? Yep, awesome. So Trevi's going to take the image of surprise, and, and anyone who wants to, we're just going to go up one at a time and make one adjustment to her image of surprise to exaggerate it a little bit. And the way that you can make an adjustment, I'm not necessarily going to increase the surprise, I'm just going to show you what that looks like, is you can literally move something, or you can show with you can mirror something. Right? Does that make sense? So you can either physically mold somebody or show it as a mirror without touching. So go ahead, show us your level 2 surprise. And who can increase this to a level 3? What do we think? Did we raise the dial a little bit here? All right, so what else can we do? Increase the level of surprise. And keep adding, yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to start with images of happiness. And the way it will work is that anyone who's willing to be like Trevi was, like willing to let people adjust your body without touching you in places here or here, right, will come and make up to half the group, because we can't do it with more than half the group. So the way this is going to work is the people on the inside, go ahead and make your level 1 or level 2 happiness. And freeze. The people on the outside, go ahead and make one adjustment to your partner to increase the level of happiness. Just one adjustment, go ahead. People in the outside circle, move 5 people to your right and make a new adjustment to the new person. And go ahead and walk around, and when I say pause, stop in front of whoever you're in front of and make a final adjustment to the most exaggerated statue of happiness you can imagine. So walking, 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 pause. Go make an adjustment to the statue you're in front of. And all of the images of happiness, go ahead and, keeping your image as carefully as you can, turn to face the inside so you can see all the different statues. Turn into the circle. And give yourselves a round of applause. So the way this is going to work is anyone who wants to participate will just be walking through the space. And anytime that someone's walking through the space and they feel like pausing to make an image, they will. And as soon as you notice that someone is pausing to make an image, you also pause to make an image that adds to the story in some way. And then once everybody who's been walking has paused in an image, we'll take a moment to just acknowledge the image that's there. And then one person will say, okay, I'm ready to start walking again. And we'll start walking, and when you see someone start walking, then you start walking. So they'll be walking and pausing to create images kind of organically based on one person in the group having an idea of something they want to do. All right, so anybody who wants to play, I invite you to take a stand and start walking through the space.
And if you're witnessing, just notice, what's the story that you imagine? How close are different characters? What might they be thinking or saying?
And give this group a round of applause. The way it works is that each person is going to be one part of a very complex machine. And anybody who wants to will go in the center and make a repetitive sound and movement, like whoosh, 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 or whatever it is. And when someone else has an idea of how they could add to that machine, they'll add a repetitive sound and movement of their own that builds the machine, and eventually we'll have this complex machine that we all built together. And 10 more seconds to add to this machine if you'd like to be part of it. The machine speeds up. It gets faster. And the machine slows down until it slowly breaks down. And a round of applause for this group. So this time, we're going to do another machine, but instead of just a general machine, we're going to make it the machine of the surprise party. And if you want, you could repeat a word or a phrase instead of just a sound, if you like. So anyone who wants to can start the surprise party machine. Go.
Close the blinds. 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 Close the blinds.
Wow!
Close the blinds.
Wow! Wow!
Almost here.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Happy birthday!
Wow!
Happy birthday! 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 Happy birthday!
And we'll just pause right there in the surprise party. And I just want the folks on the inside stay in your image so people can see it and remember it. And folks on the outside, what do you see? You can include things like arms open, or I think it's the story of all of those are welcome. What do you see?
Surprise birthday party.
Oh, surprise birthday party. What else do you see? A what? A rehab.
Open hands.
Open hands.
Expensiveness.
Expansiveness. So there are some of us who are performers here, and we've created some machines that we want to share with you. So this is the machine of the cycle of violence.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. No.
Be small.
No.
Be small.
Just be quiet. No.
Let me help you.
Be small.
Just be quiet.
Be small.
No.
Let me help you.
Be small.
Just be quiet. No.
And pause. What did you see? What did you notice?
A web of silence.
A web of silence. What else?
Denial.
Denial. Confusion.
Isolation.
Isolation.
Refusal.
Refusal. Fear.
Self-repression.
Self-repression. Self-loathing. Ignorance. Hurt.
Help.
Say that again? Help. Repetitive thoughts. Was there anything here that you know in some way in real life? Like, is this true? Does this happen? Generational. Say more about that.
That it's being passed down, it's being, again, it's, you know, from the mother, the father, down to the children and so on.
I see a web of what happens to transgender women when they get hurt, and there's people that are like, oh, you pretty much deserved it because you're not really human, really. So dehumanizing, right?
Every action is something that a woman has thought in her mind while going through abuse, is what I experienced.
And there's this phrase in theater of the oppressed called the cops in your head.
Even if no one's literally saying them to us anymore, sometimes they're still there in our head, so they're known as the cops in the head. So that seems to resonate there.
So this woman is the anti-cop because she's the one who's saying, no, don't be silent. No, don't be silent. So she's the antidote to that.
So the anti-cop, the antidote, the angel in the head, maybe,
Yeah.
something like that.
Angel in the machine.
I'm also seeing this gentleman as
The one standing on the box?
yeah,
Dan.
as a form of authority that is overlooking.
Do you identify a particular person as the oppressed or the victim or the one receiving the violence?
Lady saying no.
Oh, so one person thinks this lady saying no, and other folks, are you pointing to on the floor, under? So lots of possibilities. One thing that we noticed when we created this machine for the first time was that everything was centered around the victim or the person on the floor. And we said, oh, that's something that kind of happens in the domestic violence movement or the sexual assault movement, that sometimes we really focus on the person who's being harmed. And we're not sure what else is out there. And someone said, well, it would be really different if we started because that was the person who started the machine. We said, oh, it would be really different if someone who we identified as the abuser or the person causing harm started the machine. So we created a second machine of the cycle of violence, this time starting with the person we identified as the one causing harm. The shifting that happens, you'll be invited to replace either Colin or Fran, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to some of the characters, and I'll explain which characters afterwards. But as you're watching, think, what might you want them to say to one of the other characters in the scene that's different than what's currently happening? So this is the machine of the cycle of violence, take 2.
If you love me, you would. If you love me, you would. If you love me, you would.
I hate when you say that.
If you love me, you would.
I hate when you say that.
If you love me, you would.
I hate when you say that.
You are not my son. 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 You're such a disappointment. You're such a disappointment. You are not my son. You're such a disappointment. You are not my son. You're such a disappointment. You are not my son.
But he loves you.
I hate when you say
He loves you. He loves you.
Why don't you just leave him? Why don't you just leave him?
If you did what I said, this wouldn't have happened. If you did what I said, this wouldn't have happened.
Love me, you would. Love me, you would.
You are not my son.
Love me, you would.
And
You are
3.
not my son.
Love me, you would.
I hate when you say
What do you see? What do you notice? Opposition.
so much pain.
So much pain.
Complexity.
Complexity. Generational impact.
Not feeling heard.
Not feeling heard.
Baggage.
Baggage.
Manipulation.
Manipulation. Is this real? Does this happen? Is this how we want it to be? So let's think about what can we do to shift this, to change this. And so what we're going to invite is anybody who wants to can replace either Colin, so Colin, raise your hand, or Fran. But when we were thinking about what interventions or what different strategies we felt comfortable with, we realized that we felt uncomfortable asking someone to step into the Colin role and do something different because that felt a little magical. And we felt uncomfortable with someone stepping into Fran's role and taking on Colin because that felt a little like victim blaming to us and felt a little icky. So instead, we're going to invite you to take on one of their roles, anyone who wants to, but to take on one of the influencers or the cops in the head or however you see them.
You're such a disappointment.
If you love me, you would.
You are not my son.
So that's one option, is to intervene here with one of those characters if you're playing Colin. And if you're playing Fran, your options are to make an intervention to try something different with one of these characters.
But he loves you.
If you did what I said, this wouldn't have happened.
Why don't you just leave him?
And so the way it'll work is when you step into one of the roles, you'll start just repeating whatever Colin or Fran was saying, which was, if you love me, you would, or I hate when you say that. And then I'll say, after a couple rounds of the machine, I'll say, you may change. And then if you are in Colin's role, you'll turn around and face somebody that you want to try something different with. The rest of the machine will melt away, and you'll just have a conversation with that character. You don't have to stay a machine. You can just try saying something different that you think might shift something here. I'm going to put on the Fran scarf. And Christy, which character did you want to take on? Rudy's character, the he loves his character. All right, so the machine is going to start full force, and then when I say you may change, Christy's going to turn around to face Rudy, and everyone else is going to melt away, and we're just going to see what happens. All right? So machines get ready, machines get set, and action. And you may change.
What are you talking about? He loves me.
He loves you. You're never going to find anyone else like that. I promise.
How is he showing me any form of love?
He takes care of you. He gives you money whenever you ask for.
Yeah, but I need more than money at this point. He's hurting me.
You're not going to be able to get anyone else. I'm sorry. I've been with
Why?
you for 5 years, and this is the best you can get. I'm sorry.
He is the best I can get, so I don't deserve it. So it's my fault.
He loves you, and I think that's the
But are you saying that I don't deserve any better then?
I think you are good where you're at.
I'm hurt. He's hurting me.
That will change in the end. I promise you.
And
will change.
He will change, or I'm supposed to. What are you saying?
Just go with it. He loves you, and that's all you need to know right now.
And scene. Round of applause for Christy. What strategy did Christy try? What did you see?
Logic and failed.
So logic and a little, and did you say failed?
And failed, yeah.
Yeah, and a little bit of failure. Was there anything that was successful about what Christy did? Or that you liked? Her strength. We saw her strength. What? Her resilience. We got to see her resilience. She spoke up. That's a big deal. It's a really big deal. I know that in a situation where I was the survivor, someone reminded me that it's one thing to say no in your mind, and it's another thing to even say it out loud. And if you do any of those things, that's a big deal. You know? Even if you just say it in your mind, that's a big deal.
I just wanted to Rudy, I just want to say boo.
Do you want to get up? You want to get up there and try it? No? Do you want to see someone else do it?
Just boo.
That's all.
You want to try it? Okay, so Chella, go on. So let's do the machine again, and we'll melt away when I say you can change, and we're going to see the suggestion of, what's your name? Sandra. We're going to see Sandra's suggestion played by Chella. Are you ready? Machines, go.
I hate it when you say say that.
You may change.
I hate it when you say that. Look, he's hurting me. It's time though.
I understand that, but if you give it more time, she'll keep.
And round of applause for Chella. So what was different about it for you, Chella?
Well, I mean, it disarmed him. Yeah, actually, it was like he was like, oh, he's just that, you know. So, I just also want to put in like how realistic is that, you know. But in this, it disarmed him.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, at least in one situation, it could work. Maybe not in every situation, and that's why we try lots of possibilities. But at least in one situation, it had an impact. Or maybe it would have a bigger impact if the whole group was saying boo at the same time. And there are ways that we do that, you know, right? Like getting together today as a whole group. I sort of see it as a little bit of us saying that together, you know, right?
To say something different to the person.
So maybe what we can do, because my thought is, what do you all think? Is it too magical to have the "you're such a disappointment" character change suddenly, or do we want to see that? Or do we think that might actually happen? What do you think?
You could add someone.
You could add someone. All right, so let's try that. Maybe what you can do is add to the machine.
Okay. Okay.
And so what we'll do is, Mauricio, you're going to say Colin, your character, and the whole machine will start together, and then "you're such a disappointment" character will stay. Everyone else will melt away, and you'll stay because you'll add a part, and we'll see what happens. So what do you think? The three of you together? Yeah. What do you all think? The three of them, or just the two of them? The three. Okay, so when the melt away happens, we're going to keep Colin, we're going to keep mystery new person, and we're going to keep "you're such a disappointment" person. So machine action.
If you love me, you would.
You may change.
You have purpose and work. You have purpose and work.
Thank you.
You
Why am
have
I
purpose and
disappointed?
work. You have purpose and work. You have purpose and work. You have purpose and work.
Thank you.
You have purpose and
See,
work.
I wish this is what you would have said, Mom.
He has purpose and work. You have purpose and work.
Thank you.
And scene. Give this group a round of applause. What did you see? What did you notice? What are you thinking? Yeah.
This actor didn't know how to respond once Blue Sweatshirt pulled the other person in front of them.
Do you think that that's realistic? That someone who's saying "you're such a disappointment" might not know how to respond if Colin has an ally? What else?
Hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. It softens him when he feels seen by the other person. Who do you think, what is your name?
Kenya.
Who do you think Kenya's character would be in real life? Who does it make sense to say what Kenya was saying?
Mother.
It could be a mother. And if the mother isn't able to do that, could it be anyone else, or does it have to be a mother?
Could be a therapist.
It could be a therapist, it could be a friend.
Could be yourself.
It could be yourself, telling yourself.
It could also be a father.
It could also be a father. Does anyone, you can just think in your head for a moment, or you can share out loud if you like. Is there someone in your life who is that character for you?
My dog.
Yeah.
For those of us that are very triggered, that are like really intense in the moment and no one is noticing us, what do we do? Because there's more than me in here.
Yeah, sure.
What do we do?
I hear you, and I just want
I need to move, I need to do something.
Yeah, so want to do a shakeout, everyone? Would that be helpful? Let's do that. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's just take a moment and everyone, it seemed like it was useful to scream. Did everyone scream as loud as they wanted to scream? All right, so let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. This stuff is hard. Thank you for speaking up. I really appreciate that. Is there something else that you need? Know that whatever you're feeling and however you're responding is just right. That if you are really angry at me, great, that's fine. If you're like, oh, that was useful, great, that's fine. Wherever you are is okay, and I'm here to listen to all the things that you want to say to me. This is part of the pilot process of us working together to look and see what's possible and see what makes sense and in which spaces. This particular exercise was created because oftentimes we have things that it seems like we can't speak about them. Maybe we don't have the words. Maybe someone told us don't speak about it. Maybe we feel like no one could hear it. Maybe lots of possibilities. And so this is an opportunity to just acknowledge that those places exist and just give a voice to them without actually saying anything, just with our bodies. We're going to imagine that there's a line going down the center of the room. And if you're standing all the way over here, you are like, I have to work on my own story. That's why I'm here. There's something unspeakable, and I have to do it right now, today. It's really important to me. And if you are all the way over here, you're saying, I really want to support. I don't want to work on my own story. I want to be a witness to somebody else, and that's where I am. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it's like, well, I kind of would rather support, but I'd be okay with my story, or I have no idea. I'm just standing because it looks like fun and I want to participate. You know, like wherever you are or however you interpret this line, that's where you're going to stand. Does that make sense to everyone? So go ahead and place yourselves along the line where you are. So these are the Bs, your group B, you're the supporters. You're the group As. All the As pair up, all the Bs pair up. This will be your same group buddy, so pick a pair. And As, choose someone that you feel connected to or that you feel like, I mean, anyone could do it, but choose someone from the B group that you want to be your witness, your support person who will be playing you in the statues that you create. So go ahead and just find someone. Okay, so I'm going to invite the Bs to go into the waiting room because the museum's not open yet. And you can step out over here. As, I'm just going to invite you to just take a walk around the space and notice what you notice and feel what you feel. And find a space in the room that feels like yours, feels comfortable. And just take a moment to notice. And you can keep moving if it helps as I talk. It's up to you. Just take a moment to notice that you have something that's unspeakable. And you're here today in this room. How does it affect how you stand? How does it affect how you breathe? How does it affect how you move? And I'm going to count to 5. And very slowly, I'm going to invite you to create the statue of yourself today, knowing you have something unspeakable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and freeze. So I want to welcome you to the Museum of the Unspeakable. So go ahead and come through, walk through the space. And when you've gotten a chance to visit all the statues that you wanted to visit, go find your cross-group buddy and look at their image very carefully so that you can take on that image for them. And group A, let your image go, and group B, take their place exactly as they were, exactly in the same spot in the room as they were. Again, take care of your body, do what you can do. And all the A's, you can pat some life back into your body if you need to, some love back to it. And come over here with me. I want to welcome you to the Museum of the Unspeakable. All of these statues have been created by brilliant artists. One or more of these might seem a little familiar to you. And I'm just going to invite you to walk through the space, see what you see, notice what you notice, feel what you feel. And remember that you have a buddy in this group. So if you want to walk with somebody or you want to hold their hand as you walk through, you're more than welcome to. So whenever you're ready, you may enter the museum. You might start to wonder or imagine, what makes things unspeakable? Who or what are the things that are silencing? And when you've seen everything that you would like to see, go ahead and in relation to your partner, your cross-group partner, make an image, a still statue of one of the silencers, the thing that makes it unspeakable. You can release your image, pat life into your bodies and love into your muscles. Welcome to the Museum of the Silencers. All of these statues are images of what makes things unspeakable. See if you recognize anything or know it in any way. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel, see what you see. Go ahead and take a walk. Again, you have a buddy if you want someone to go with you. And group B, when you've seen all of the statues that you want to see, go ahead and find your cross-group buddy and take their pose, exactly where they're standing, exactly as they are standing. And A's can come join me over here when you're ready. Welcome to the Museum of the Silencers. All have been created by really thoughtful artists. You can feel free to take a walk through the space and see what you see, notice what you notice. And one of them, at least, might look a little familiar. And group A, whenever you've seen all that you want to see, take your time, exit the museum and come to the side room, and you can sit down with your same group buddy to share in whispers things you saw or noticed in the Museum of the Unspeakable and the Museum of the Silencer. Release your statues, pat life back into your body if you need, and find your same group buddy and whisper, share for a few minutes. And group B's, go and take the original statue of the unspeakable. Yeah. And group A, I'm going to invite you to come back in. This is the Museum of the Unspeakable. Find your statue and create the image of what you need. We'll just start with silent statue of what you need. And you can be anywhere in relation to your own image. And if you're group B and you're in the unspeakable image, go ahead and just, without changing your image too much, peek at what the A person is doing so that you can take that image on later. And group A, I'm going to invite you to we'll take 3 breaths, and then after the 3rd breath, you're going to whisper whatever you would like, whatever you think that the unspeakable image needs to hear. And you're going to repeat it 3 times. Okay? So take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, and go ahead and whisper 3 times what you need to say to your own statute. A's and B's switch places. A's go back to your image of the unspeakable. B's create the image of what is needed. And we're going to take 3 breaths, and then the B's are going to whisper the things that they heard exactly the way they heard it 3 times. So take a breath. 1, a breath. 2, a breath. 3, and whisper what is needed 3 times. Go. And A's and B's can just sit down right where you are or stand up to talk, whatever you wish, and whisper, share whatever you want with your partner. Whether you were in the center or holding the space, to share something you noticed or thought or felt. I'm going to invite you to speak from your own experience only, so like what you noticed or thought, because we don't know what was happening for other people. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. Are there any other agreements you'd like to make that would help this space feel safe for sharing? Is there anyone who would like to say anything? Or create an image. That's another way that you can share a response if you would like.
Well, it felt really vulnerable, a precious opportunity to embody something that feels unspeakable to me, and I'm embodying it, and then having my partner hold that hand and be there in that moment, because I don't usually express myself through body or voice. So to have her there in that moment felt really healing, and just because it's my body, it felt like going back and sharing that moment, and maybe that would change how I feel in the future of those moments.
I was aware of the unspeakable pose as something that I've lived with for my whole life, and I realized in just embodying it and actually seeing it outside myself, how much tension and how hard it is to manage that. I've managed it my whole life. And thanks to my partner, there was a space created, and when I changed the statue, I saw how easy how close it is to where I am. It's not like this big thing I have to do. It was just even moving my shoulders back just a minute and just taking a breath, and then all of a sudden I could be open to shifting it and letting my heart. So it was very powerful for me to just see it and witness it outside myself. Because when it's inside myself, I lose it. So thank you.
So I've done this exercise quite a few times, but I'm always on the opposite end. it never ceases to amaze me how deep it can get and how personal it can get, even when I'm not doing my own story, like connecting with my partner. I was just, it was just this word that I really learned like a few months ago, and just knowing that we're in the business of doing is rehumanization, right? And that's what it is, rehumanizing our stories, making it about our individual selves, right? Like, and the healing that needs to happen for this word to go on, right? It was just powerful.
And I like to say the end portion of my partner providing me what I said I needed for it to be okay was extraordinary, because I felt like she was the vessel that it was her, but it was me. You know, it was really it was I can't even speak. It was really powerful.
I was witnessing it, and it started with two people coming together and starting the process. But as the process was going, I suddenly realized, and it surprised me, that I started to see like real genuine feeling and real genuine empathy. Like I felt a shift that surprised me. I didn't expect that. And I realized, I literally was like, wow, this is so powerful. And it actually brought my own empathy as I was watching all the different stories around me. And I was not expecting that. That was quite powerful.
As in experiencing it as the supporter, I really started to recognize my own body in my position was not comfortable. Like I could feel myself shaking, like I was in pain down there. And when my partner came and my hand was waiting for her, I wanted her to take my hand so that I could help her, she could help me. Like I was waiting for her to take my hand, and when it happened, I really felt the connection, and it was really, really powerful. So just coming from that side, like I felt both of us. I felt myself, and I felt her too.
Thank you all so much for sharing and holding space. I'm gonna invite us to just take a stretch. And you can stand up or stay sitting. If you see a stretch that someone else is doing that looks great. I just wanna acknowledge that Theater of the Oppressed is so many things, and there's so many games and so many exercises. We brought a sampling of the, 60 some odd exercises that we did in the last 8 months with this group, and we were so delighted to get to share them with you. And because we couldn't share everything with you, I wanted to open up the space for questions or thoughts about Windows Theater of the Oppressed, and that I want to offer that this can be a group answering. Like, it's not like I'm the holder of all the Theater of the Oppressed knowledge. It's actually really shared in this room. And all of you who have been here, even if this was your first experience, you've experienced it too, and that makes you an expert in this subject. So.
Show of hands. How difficult is it for some people that this is so stepping out of the way you normally deal? This is like Major League 2.
So maybe what we can do is make a scale. So like the floor is like easy piece of cake, I could do it in my sleep. Up here is like, oh my God, it's a huge deal, really, really difficult. Does that work? Yeah? All right, so everyone just show where you are, kind of. And just notice that some of the performers have their hands up pretty high too.
Thank you.
More of a follow-up to that question, but I see the stepping out and the uncomfortability and stepping in. A lot of times our uncomfortabilities are because of trauma experiences, etc., that make us shield off, hold off, whatever terms you want to use. So being uncomfortable and doing it is part of the release, part of the freedom, and part of the healing. So I'm up here and I'm like, woo, and that's not normally who I am. So like it's hard to do that, but then it's also part of the healing and the enjoyment of it.
So I do Theater of the Oppressed, and with a bunch of folks in Skid Row who are addicts and who dealt with horrible issues, right? It's funny because when I first brought this to them, they were like, sitting down, not participating. And to me, we kind of got in our head that like in America, that when people don't participate, they're not actively engaging, but they are. And like, there's 2 that come every single Monday that I do it.
And generally, we start off with icebreakers, with little things, and we start building up to the bigger exercises. You wouldn't start with the museum of unspeakable. You would start with the gift giving, or maybe just moving your body and doing something fun, and then you work up.
And sometimes I went to Women's Shelter of Long Beach to do a pilot with teens, and you know, the way we started was they didn't do anything at all. Mauricio stood up there and created a statue, and they told him what to do. You know, like you can start slowly so that people get the idea. And I learned from Chella, actually. Chella had the idea, let's demonstrate it, and then anyone who wants to participate can try it. And so that's another strategy that you can use as well.
Okay, I want to share also something. I'm from Southern Europe, working mainly with women victims of rapes that happened during the war. And I'm doing a lot of theater works with them, and I realized that what is actually the advantage with using this kind of technique is that those women usually are asked for what happened to them. But those things are, as we saw today, very unspeakable. And at the same time, theater, I think, offers a lot of playing, having fun, relaxing, enjoying the life. And this is the thing when, if we are traumatized, or people who went through something horrible, that is war or any kind of trauma, always forget how to play, because nobody reminds them to play. Everybody is just asking about what happened to them. So reminding them again and again and again and going back. But with theater, I think we bring back this play, and if we start again, enjoy the life through the play, I think we are more ready to fight against the trauma, the struggles that we have in ourselves and stuff like that.
And so we're just going to do a little appreciation circle or something you're walking away with. Because there's so many of us, we're going to limit it to 1 or 2 words or an image, if you prefer to do an image. Your word may also be pass, or you can just pass the microphone if you don't want to speak. That's totally fine. And just something that you appreciate about today, or that you're taking away, or something on your mind. 1 or 2 words.
Release and letting go.
Having each other's backs.
Freehand.
The natural state of humanity.
Love.
Expression.
Being strong for yourself as well as others.
Fun.
Beauty. Sharing our healing. Opportunities for empowerment.
Similarities within diversity.
Humane. Beautiful. Trust.
Questions. Possibilities.
Chances to try something new.
Expression and courage. Strength and compassion.
Connectedness.
Risk-taking. Present in the moment.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much.